In a world gripped by fear and uncertainty, every nation stands at the edge of chaos. Political alliances fracture, economies buckle, and military forces mobilize on an unprecedented scale. The world watches with bated breath as global superpowers, once partners in diplomacy, now point missiles at one another, their fingers hovering over the trigger. Borders are no longer just lines on a map, they are front lines. Nations pour trillions into defense, drafting civilians, weaponizing artificial intelligence, and racing to secure dwindling resources. Skies hum with the sound of stealth bombers. Seas churn with nuclear submarines. And cyberspace becomes a battlefield of its own. This is not just a war of weapons, it's a war of survival. Trust has evaporated. Peace has shattered. And the planet prepares for a storm that could consume it whole. As World War III looms, the question remains: who, if anyone, will be left standing? The year is unknown, lost in the blur of escalating conflict. What began as a series of political disputes, cyberattacks, and proxy wars has now erupted into full-scale global mobilization. Every nation, from the smallest island states to the mightiest superpowers, is preparing for war. The world is no longer divided by ideology alone, but by desperation, fear, and the will to dominate or survive. In the West, massive convoys of armored vehicles roll through once bustling cities. Skyscrapers are draped in camouflage netting, and metro stations have been repurposed into bomb shelters. Satellites in orbit are repurposed for surveillance and retaliation. In the East, vast deserts and icy tundras are being transformed into battlegrounds, while factories run 24/7, producing drones, tanks, and war-ready AI systems. The oceans are patrolled by carrier fleets armed with next-generation weaponry. Submarines prowl the deep, silent but deadly, carrying nuclear payloads capable of ending civilizations in seconds. In the skies, unmanned aircraft engage in dogfights above scorched battlefields, while anti-satellite weapons threaten to blind entire nations. But perhaps the most terrifying front is invisible. The cyber realm is ablaze with digital warfare. Power grids flicker, bank accounts vanish, satellites crash, and misinformation spreads like wildfire. Governments fall not only from bombs, but from bytes. International organizations have crumbled under the weight of chaos. Treaties are ignored, sanctions are meaningless, and diplomacy is seen as weakness. The phrase, mutually assured destruction, has lost its ability to deter. Now, it's a promise. As the final countdown ticks toward midnight, humanity faces its darkest hour. Children are trained in survival drills. Cities are mapped by evacuation routes. People pray not for victory, but for an end. This is not just a war. This is a reckoning. And when the dust settles, if it ever does, the world will never be the same. The world is no longer governed by laws, but by fear. No corner of the earth is untouched. South America fortifies its rainforests with hidden bases. Africa's deserts pulse with the hum of solar-powered war machines. And Southeast Asia is a maze of naval blockades and fire zones. The Arctic has melted not from climate change, but from missile strikes and experimental weapons tests.